Still in Nigeria, the government plans to spend 26.01 trillion naira for the 2024 budget and will assume an oil price of $73.96 for its expenditures at an exchange rate of 700 naira per dollar. Its budget minister said on Monday. Atiku Bagudu, speaking to reporters, also said the country will target oil production of 1.78 million barrels per day under the 2024 spending plan. Well, Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now from our Lagos studios. Good morning to you and glad to have you on the program. Well,
good morning, Georgina. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Now, the federal government plans to spend 26.01 trillion naira for the 2024 budget. Is this visible? And what do you make of the crude oil price and production assumptions as well as other parameters that they've placed?
Okay, let me put it this way, that these are early days of the journey to preparing the budget for the year 2024. The law requires that the government prepares what they call the medium term expenditure plan and the fiscal policy paper, normally spanning over 3 accounting years, this time around 2024, 2025, and 2026. For the citizens of the country, in our normal lingo, we ask ourselves who has the budget helped, who has the budget helped, because the year 2023 is passing through, and the budget of 21 trillion plus was passed. But when they give you the budget now, they'll tell you that it's all been spent. But all the citizens of the country, you ask them, have they felt the budget? How did the budget impact them? And that is the issue for us. So when we are going through this ritual again, let me use the word ritual, for 2024 accounting year, you ask yourself, again, who will the budget help? How will it help the citizens? Unemployment, is it going down? Standard of living, is it going up? Inflation, is it going down? So the citizens of the country have been battered in the year 2023, even though we had a massive budget of 21 trillion. So you ask yourself, who has the budget helped? But let me bring it home to 2024, the question that you asked me. We, in the finance field, accounting field, we always say that a budget is as good as its assumptions. A budget is as good as its assumptions. And assumption starts from the trajectory of the year before, the year before, to see how the government has fared, to project to the future. How have they done? And then you will see that Nigerian government is always good at projecting expenditures and exceeding it, and then projecting revenues and underachieving it, as the case may be. Basic assumptions, let me look at them. Oil production at 1.78 million barrels a day. What are we doing now? We're doing 1.1 million barrels a day. And we have spoken several times in this program about the fact that the president of this country should declare a state of emergency on oil production. This is God's gift to us, and we're barely struggling to meet our oil quota. So the 1.78 million barrels a day is also very ambitious, because we have struggled even to do the 1.1 million barrels a day. So nothing in the horizon really tells us that this may happen. We're hoping that so moving from 1.1 million barrels a day, 1.78 million barrels a day is ambitious. We hope they're achieved. Okay. Oil price of $73 per barrel. Good, very good, because oil is hanging at 90-something barrels per now, per day. So that's not too bad. What else have I assumed there? Exchange rate of 700 naira per dollar. Ambitious also. You and me know that the exchange rate now, the one that's reference point, is almost 1,000 naira per dollar now. The government assumes that the jamborees and the junketing of the president and his team, from New York and Washington to India and to Dubai, will bring some, effects into the country that will moderate the exchange rate. Let's hope that happens. Maybe the loan they're negotiating with the World Bank and AFDB will assist in providing the cover required to manage the exchange rate down. but we don't see any resupply in the horizon. So $700 naira per dollar for exchange rate is again still very ambitious exchange rate. You know, so deficit. You look at borrowing between personnel costs and servicing of debts, almost 63%, 65% of the whole budget. So you can see, and these are consumption. You haven't talked about the things that will grow, create employment in the country, and so on and so forth. And for a country that is borrowing to finance its budget, we are living big, but we're a poor country. We are spending so much money on consumption, meanwhile funded by borrowed money. And I don't want to talk about the elephant in the room. We just saw what happened in the House of Reps. And then the one that has been going on about what happened in is it Washington, D.C. or New York. So I should think that the government should actually be doing a government of austerity where they should be moderating expenditures, not putting it up, especially if they're going to fund it by borrowing.
It's borrowing. Our debt profile still growing. Well, let's move to the aviation sector. Domestic airlines in Nigeria are operating in a very difficult environment, complaining of high cost of operation. NCAA has said it's trying to assist airlines with flexible insurance fees and debt payment. But is this enough to rescue airlines from bankruptcy?
Well, I mean, you can, as you said, you cannot divorce the airline industry from the economy of the country. And because if the prices are pushing up, this is already, the traveling net is very small in the country. Not up to 10% of the population is traveling. And so with the ticket prices going up, the net gets smaller and smaller. And the airline industry, the thing about aviation is that literally, everything that you use in aviation is imported. It's foreign exchange based, even up to Nigeria, up to the aviation fuel. Now, you're not even talking about the servicing of the aircrafts and the parts of the aircraft and so on and so forth. And then throw that on the issues in Nigeria, the infrastructural deficits you have in the country. And so the airlines are in big trouble. But you see, the airlines also have to help themselves. I thought about several times. Because an airline, you see a lot of airlines, maybe about 10 typical airlines in Nigeria. Only one of them has aircrafts in double digits. The other ones have aircrafts in 2, 3, 4, 5 max. And they're still carrying the same fixed costs all over the place. I think that the time has come for some consolidation to happen in that industry. Because the airline that has 2 aircraft or 3 aircraft has staff in Port Harcourt Airport, staff in Abuja Airport, staff in Lagos Airport, staff in Owerri Airport. The other airline also, the same thing. Why can't they consolidate and have one person serving, one team serving all the airlines? So that's for them to do, even as we're talking about the challenges in the economy. But Georgina, before I go away from that, I want to talk about the role of government in supporting the aviation industry, especially the external aviation, that has to do with flying to other countries. And I think I should push that out now because of Minister Keyamo, who is the new Minister of Aviation. This is one of the things I think he should face to create the equality between Nigerian airlines who want to go out go to other countries and how they're treated. Look at the airlines from Nigeria who want to go to London. They want them to go to Stansted Airport or Gatwick Airport. Whereas the airlines from UK who come to Nigeria go to have multiple destinations in our country, choice destinations in our country, and they do that because of airport aviation politics. Now, so because, I'll give you an example. Flying to India now, the Nigerian airline that goes to India, 12 hours flight to India, 12 hours flight back, 24 hours flight. Nigerians' economy ticket is about 600,000 naira. Flying to London, 6 hours to London and 6 hours back, 12 hours. Nigerians pay almost 3 million naira, 4 million naira for economy ticket. Because of the fact that all these foreigners we don't have any choice. So aviation politics is very important. I think that's one of the things the Minister of Aviation has to take on to make sure Nigerian airlines are also given the same equality in flying to these countries that are coming to Nigeria and even have multiple destinations into our country.
I really agree with you, because it's one of the issues that was raised during the 7th Aviation Summit that held recently in Abuja. Thank you so much for being on the program. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu.